and today I wanted to film a video that was a little bit different than the stuff I've been putting out. I've been putting out a lot of beauty, like hauls, tutorials, reviews, and stuff. This one I kind of want to put out a relationship advice type video, tips and advice. Me and my boyfriend have only been dating a year, which is actually one of my longest relationships, and I've been through so many different types of relationships before this, and this is one of my best ones, and I think these are some of the tips that I want to give you guys that have really helped with this relationship. And I know we've been dating a year, and some people would say, oh, it's too soon to talk about marriage, but when you're 18 and 20, that's what you should be thinking about, your future, and he is my future. So I think the first thing I would say is, if you're not happy, you don't need to be there. I was in relationships before where I was just unhappy, and I thought, I have to be in the relationship though, but sometimes he's good was the thing, or but sometimes we have good times. It shouldn't be like that, and if that's how it is, you shouldn't be there. You need to be happy, and if you're not happy, leave. I'm sorry, but if you're not happy, you don't need to put up with it. And a bus is ruining my advice. Okay, number 2, I think, is very important, and I will say it after this thing drives away. Okay. Okay, number 2 is never leave angry, and I think that is very important. If you're having a fight before bed, do not go to bed until it is made up, or at least until one of you says, I'm sorry, we'll talk about this tomorrow, I love you. If you're having an argument right when, say, he's bringing you home from something, you have an argument, don't get out of the car, don't slam the door and let him drive home angry, or let you come here and be alone angry. I think it's important to work things out before it gets too bad, because in that 20 minutes it takes for him to get home, or for whatever, you could go through so many scenarios in your head, and you're just getting madder and madder, and I'm sure they're doing the same thing. So I think it's very important to not ever leave angry. Okay, number 3, if you really, really want the relationship, just apologize. You could be fighting about the dumbest thing, and you could think, I'm not to blame, so I'm not going to say sorry. It's his fault, he'll say sorry if he means it. Just say sorry. You want the relationship to work, just say you're sorry. Honestly, I've said it before times when I'm like, he should say it, but I don't want us to be fighting, so I'm going to say I'm sorry. Number 4 is don't be selfish. Always put the other person ahead of you. I don't think you should ever be like, well, I want this and I want that, so you can't have this if I can't have that. I can't even think of an example right now, but don't ever hold them back from their dreams because you feel like you need to put yourself first or whatever. Number 5 is never stop the chase, and that is very important. If you fought for this person in the beginning, or you chased after this person, or you would, if he would ever buy you flowers and everything just to show you that he cared in the beginning, to make sure, you realized, oh, he is a great guy, you don't need to stop that. Same with you. If you were someone that was always pinning after him and showing him all these nice things and telling him all these nice things, and now that you have him and you're dating, you just kind of stop or don't do it as often, I think that's bad. You need to always have this chase in mind, because then you're remembering, this is why I'm with this person. This is why I wanted to be with this person. Alright, number 6, date nights are a must, and I will hold true to this all the time. Sometimes it's nice just sit at home, relax in your sweats, watch a movie, but I think it's important that you still have that one night a week or a couple nights a month where you go get dressed up, you go to a nice dinner, or you go see a movie, or just go mini golfing, anything. I think that's important to have that time with the person, because your everyday mundane life just gets not boring, but you're just what else? I think it's good to kind of keep the excitement alive, to go out on dates every once in a while. Number 7, I think, is very important. If you don't see yourself marrying them, don't date them. And this was my mentality my whole senior year of high school. I didn't date anyone for this reason. I was like, the next person I date, I'm going to marry. And every person I kind of started hanging out with or people I would talk to, I just couldn't see myself with them. And when I met Chris, I understood what I meant with that. Like, I could marry this kid, and I knew that after the first couple of weeks just by the kind of person he was and how caring he was. And he did want a future and everything. I know some guys are like, well, one day we'll see what happens. That is never the mentality to have, because then I would feel like, well, if you don't want to even be with me forever, why are we together now? So I think it's very important that if you cannot picture yourself marrying them, then you probably shouldn't be with them. Even if you're dating for a while and you're realizing, I can't marry him, then I'm sorry, tell them that. Just be honest. Alright, so I just stopped recording. So, number 8 is to always say, I love you. And I think that's very important. I mean, obviously, if you haven't said it yet, just throw that out there. Just don't. I mean, obviously, if you're listening for relationship advice, you've been dating a long enough amount of time where you are saying I love you. But if you're having an argument, just say I love you. If you know you're mad at something they did, just say I love you. Never stop saying it, because you don't want them to forget that. Even if it's just, you're just sitting there, turn over and say I love you. It's such a nice comfort hearing that, especially when you weren't even having a conversation or whatever, and they just tell you. It's such a nice, comforting feeling to know that. So yeah, those are my, 8. I probably have more. These are the first ones I could think of. Tips or advice for relationships. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a little different. I want to do different videos. I mean, I want to focus on beauty, but of course I want to throw other things out there every once in a while, switch it up. So please tell me if you like this. Comment down below and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye guys.